A very good morning, all of you. Welcome to Super Coaching by Textbook. Today, we'll be discussing about the spectacles of atmosphere, the beautiful northern lights, which we call about auroras. You all know that our atmosphere, which consists of many gases, it's known for multiple spectacles, be it the northern lights or be it the the meteors which burn at a certain layer in the atmosphere. Our atmosphere is known for multiple spectacles. One such spectacle which we'll discuss in detail is the beautiful northern lights. As you can see in this picture, you can see such kind of beautiful colors in our sky. For example, be it the green color, which is the typical color, or else in different colors of pink, of white, or so many other variants of colors. So if you see these northern lights, it is of multiple colors, right? You all have seen these pictures. The pictures are quite beautiful, isn't it? So imagine you going and watching these northern lights. It is one time experience, definitely, yes. So you can see some of the videos of northern lights, people who are amazed by it, how do they look like and all such kind of things. It is one kind of a nature's beauty. You will be just mesmerized by that. Definitely, it is regarded as one of the beautiful spectacle to visit. So the northern lights, which is part of the regions of high latitude countries. We'll discuss all the things. Okay, I'm not here to discuss as point of as a traveler, isn't it? We are here discussing is this part of a geographer. So we need to know where are they located, why and all. But definitely, the stories of traveling and all, you will be mesmerized and you will be more connected to this, isn't it? That is how the human nature is. So if you move forward, how do these northern lights occur? What are the things? Why? The first thing you need to understand, this is the sun. There are solar winds which are coming from the sun. These solar winds interact with the Earth's magnetic field. As they interact with the Earth's magnetic field, the winds will be deflected, and then you all know that we have different layers of our atmosphere, and the layer which we call it as the thermosphere or the ionosphere, where you have the electrically charged particles. So the solar winds coming from the sun will be reflected here. The electrically charged particles ion will be reacting with that, reflecting and all, and then we can see the beautiful colors. Even here you can see the colors of pink and the typical green color. So that is the thing. So how are they formed? If you talk about the solar winds formation, northern lights, how are they formed? It is a product of three things. The first, you need to know that there are solar winds, then the Earth's magnetic field, and then the ionosphere. We'll discuss about the ionosphere. Electrically charged particles which are present, say at the latitude or at the height of around 80 kilometers, beyond 80 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. This layer is called as thermosphere, and within this thermosphere, which is also called as ionosphere, we can call it as, we find that because of these factors together, the beautiful spectacle of northern lights occur, right? So get into my Telegram channel, the link is given in the description. I'll be sharing a video of the northern lights, where you will be discussing, seeing about the multiple things associated with it. Okay, then then one more thing you need to know. Why do they occur only in the, where do they occur? The spectacle of northern lights, the auroras, which we also call it as auroras, they occur only in the typical areas in the high latitudes. One of the reason is, there are some visibility factors. If you see it from our side, there are some visibility factors from the thing. For example, one visibility factor is, we need clear sky, or which is free from pollution. So I would say no pollution. And we'd also need a dark sky where you can where you can see that such darkness is the one where the beautiful colors of the auroras will be visible to us. These are dark sky typically found in the winter months. That is why this is the time where you go to countries like Norway, Sweden, Iceland, Alaska, Greenland. These are the places where you will find the spectacles of the northern lights. So this is during this time, that is the winter months, you will find it, the dark sky and all. But one more thing, why only the specific high latitude countries? You can see, you cannot see these kind of things in beyond these places. One of the reason is, how is the Earth's magnetic field interacting with the solar winds? You can see this picture. How is the solar winds is entering into the Earth? How is the Earth's magnetic field is reacting? That determines why it is moving only in the higher latitude countries. So in other words, that is the reason. Then time is determined by the seasons. For example, this is the month. From September onwards, usually the season of observing northern lights begins. September is also considered as one good month, considering that winter is about to begin, and also at that point of time there is more solar activity. That is what it is observed. And then by around December and all, because of the long winter nights, you all know winter nights are quite long there, because of it dark sky is clearly there. That is this is the time where many of the people go and visit. Imagine you trying to go to Norway and trying to go and visit this, and sometimes it is not visible to you. How would you feel? You will not be feeling happy, right? So you need around certain time, and that is the time usually where you will find in detail. So sometimes luck also matters, but that is the usual thing. So as a geographer or as a preparation for the UPSC exam, what do you need to know? How do northern lights occur? They occur because of three factors: the sun's solar winds, the Earth's magnetic field, and the ionosphere. Electrically charged particles called ions reflect the solar wind, because of which you will find the beautiful colors. So the interaction will determine the nature of the colors, right? Then where do they occur? They occur only in the high latitude. In the higher latitude countries, where you find such kind of things like dark sky and all such kind of things, typically in the winter months. You know, there is a scientific angle to it, and the indigenous communities of the Arctic region, they also have many kind of stories with it. Okay, so it is known for many kind of cultural thing as well there, and at the same time it is also known for many kind of scientific things, because it is dealing with the outer space as well as the Earth's magnetic field and auroras and the ionosphere. So it has a huge scientific relevance, and naturally it is associated with many stories. And if you are typically from the Arctic region, as part of your growing up, you would have seen multiple stories about the auroras and all such kind of things. Okay, then you see this, all these spectacles are occurring where? Where are they occurring? They are occurring in the Earth's atmosphere. What is atmosphere, by the way? As you can see, atmosphere, is it a mixture of gases? Yes. Simply what do you call it as atmosphere here? The air around us. The air around us is what you call it as atmosphere. Definitely yes, the air around us is atmosphere. It is a mixture of many gases. Then what is the height of the atmosphere? How do you determine that? For this, there is a beautiful story I have heard. There is a beautiful question, which not a story, rather a beautiful question which was asked by one of my student, and it's a really interesting question. What the student was asked was, maybe he is a PUBG guy, I guess, right? So he said one thing, sir, why not I take a parachute from the planet Earth? For example, if you are from India, take a parachute, go into the upper atmosphere, via parachute, and then the Earth rotates from west to east. As the Earth rotates west to east, the USA will come now, and then he will come down to USA. He will go and view the places of USA, and once again he takes a parachute, go into the atmosphere. The Earth rotates west to east, and once again he will come back to India. That's what he said. Is that possible? Is that possible? The question is quite interesting, isn't it? Right? Simply, you take a parachute into the planet Earth. From the planet Earth, you go into the atmosphere, and the Earth rotates west to east. then you can come down. Will that occur? No. Why? See, to what extent the atmosphere is there? The atmosphere is there until to what extent gravity is having an impact. So, if you are moving, the planet Earth is also moving along with the gases, dust particles. So, atmosphere is held to the extent of where there is gravitation. So, if you are here, that is the ground level, or if you are in the outer, or you are in the very layer of the atmosphere, all these places gravity is having an impact. The point where the Earth's gravity is not having an impact, that means you are in the outer space, right? So, for that parachute to be actually working, he has to go into the outer space, then the Earth rotates, then he can come down, right? So, it does not occur within our atmosphere because the Earth around us is also moving. So, what is atmosphere? It is a blanket of air around us. This is the Earth's blanket, which we call it as blanket of air around us. That is the thing I have told you in the title of this video, Unveiling Earth's Blanket, right? Atmosphere is the blanket of air which comprises of many gases, dust particles as well as water vapor. All these things together will determine the spectacles of nature here. For example, like I am talking about here the auroras as well. So, such kind of things is the indicator. So, what is atmosphere for us? Atmosphere is nothing but a blanket of air. This air is held together by gravity, and this blanket of air, you will say air around us, but it comprises of many gases, dust particles as well as gases, dust particles and water vapor. What kind of gases you have? The prominent gases in our atmosphere, what are the things? The prominent gases are oxygen as well as nitrogen. In fact, nitrogen and oxygen together constitutes 99%, with nitrogen almost around 78%, isn't it? The composition of nitrogen is quite high, and then you have the oxygen where you find such kind of things. Then when you talk about such kind of things, oxygen, nitrogen and all, the atmosphere having many kind of spectacles, you should understand that each gas has a role to play. In fact, this is the atmosphere composition which has determined life on planet Earth. Please understand, it is the composition of this Earth's atmosphere which has determined life on the planet Earth, right? So, it has discussed about that. Then, what is the significance of nitrogen? Anyone? What is the significance of nitrogen? Nitrogen is directly available. Imagine is more abundantly available in the atmosphere, but it is not directly used by us. We used indirectly by the bacteria. In fact, then imagine the nitrogen, understand the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle. That nitrogen cycle will determine about the movement of the nitrogen compounds from the atmosphere into the rocks, into the soils, and then from the soils to us and all. So, by the time when it reaches to us, the significance of nitrogen is amino acids, proteins. That is the significance, right? So, nitrogen, amino acids. So, the base, the building blocks of life, the proteins, it is because of the nitrogen cycle, and such nitrogen is extracted by the bacterial organisms in the soil using the atmosphere fixation, using the natural things of lightning and all such kind of events. So if you have understood nitrogen cycle, you will get to know how atmospheric nitrogen is converted into various compounds of nitrates, right? So through it we will get amino acids, and then you have carbon dioxide. Of course, carbon dioxide is 0.03% of our atmosphere. Oxygen, you all know, life, right? Life exists because of oxygen. What about carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is 0.03%, but what is the significance? I would ask you a question. What would be the average temperatures of the earth had there been no carbon dioxide? Or you all know that the moment when I say carbon dioxide, everyone will talk about this as a greenhouse gas, seeing it as a negative annotation, isn't it? Of course, it is negative in the present era, but up to a certain point, carbon dioxide is very much needed. You know why carbon dioxide is needed for us? Anyone? Photosynthesis is very important. The plants consume carbon dioxide and release oxygen, and so carbon dioxide is very important for photosynthesis. It is important for our photosynthesis. And coming back to the greenhouse gas concept, carbon dioxide is very important because greenhouse effect by nature is very, very important. For example, imagine this is the surface, this is the sun, energy received from the sun reaches the surface, then it reflects here. Let me have the shading of the color in green color. The outgoing energy, the terrestrial radiation, when the energy is there, these greenhouse gases here, so the agents like carbon dioxide, okay, water vapor, methane, there are so many greenhouse gases. If you see carbon dioxide, water vapor, methane, what do? They absorb this heat, and that is the one which is giving us the much needed heat. Because of this greenhouse effect, the Earth's temperatures are around the present degrees of 14 degrees Celsius. Without the greenhouse effect, the Earth's temperature would have been minus 20 degrees Celsius. The Earth would have been a cooler planet. Life would not have been such possible without the layers of atmosphere. Right? So, life is possible on the planet Earth because of such kind of layers. So, from the 14 degrees to the present era, where you are having around 15.1 degree to 15.2 degrees Celsius, this is the fossil fuels. Okay. So, don't give the annotation of fossil fuels, carbon dioxide is a negative thing, but as a nature, greenhouse effect is very, very important. So, all such kind of things are happening. In fact, the life is happening on planet Earth. It is because of the composition of our atmosphere, that is the gases. In fact, these gases, it is one which is determining the life on planet Earth. Not just that, my dear friend. Ozone layer, which is there in our atmosphere, is absorbing the ultraviolet radiation from the sun, where had there been no ozone, the life which we know on planet Earth would not have been in that way without the presence of ozone in the upper atmosphere or in the stratosphere. That is the beauty of the atmosphere. So, this is the beauty of our planet Earth. That is the reason why life exists. Say for example, whenever you observe any kind of planets, things from NASA's experiments and in many other things, even from ISRO as well, when you have been to Mars, what do you observe in the Mars? You observe the composition of that planet. You observe what kind of gases are there, so that life is found. You all know in science and technology there is a word, Goldilocks zone, where habitable planets can be seen. What do they observe? The composition of the atmosphere is one of the key ingredient. That is the thing which you are learning, right? So, then by the way, What is the significance of dust particles here? Dust particles, anyone? Significance of dust particles? The significance of dust particles is they are the ones which are responsible for the sky looking blue in color, isn't it? It is the interaction of the dust particles with the sunlight is the reason why you are finding the sky being blue in color, isn't it? So, see every particles will have the options of reflections, absorptions, transmissions. The nature of the wavelength of the energy and the size of the particles will determine what kind of interaction, and that will determine when we need to find the blue color sky, when we will find that orange color sunlight at the time of dawn and dusk, all such kind of things. So, the dust particles will determine all such kind of things. So, what is the significance of dust particles? The presence of the visibility of sky as blue, isn't it? Right. Even for northern auroras, for the northern auroras, if you wanted to go and check them, you have to make it sure that the atmosphere is free from pollution, dust particles, so that visibility becomes much higher. Imagine you are in a very highly industrialized region, your atmosphere is covered by the smoke of that gases, then you will not be, it is not clearly visible for you to see such kind of spectacles. If you wanted to see such spectacles, you have to go beyond this. See, for any kind of celestial events, you always observe our scientific community. They always go towards the places where there is less pollution. Say one such region in India, Ladakh, where it is away from the big cities, a bit higher altitude, and thereby you can see the clear skies. If you are from say some kind of smaller celestial events, okay, so where then what is the usual norm? You observe some kind of scientific community groups, members. These days everyone will have their own group, yeah, like WhatsApp groups and all. Scientific community also has such kind of WhatsApp groups, and to occur, for example, if you are from a region of Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, what do? They used to identify the people who are interested to watch, collect the people together, the scientific people, have their telescopes, go away from the city at least around 100-150 kilometers. From there, where usually the air quality index is usually good, from there they used to observe such kind of celestial events. That is the thing. So, usually what are they doing? They are moving away from the dust particles, right? So, they are moving away from the dust particles. Then what is the further significance of the dust particles? For the dust particles, as I told you, you have a significance with respect to sunlight, interaction, for example, sky, blue, the sky different colors, it is because of the dust particles, the scattering and diffusion of the dust particles. Just now I have told you about the dust particles role in terms of these kind of colors. You also know that these dust particles are the reason for cloud formation, because they will increase the density of the water vapor, So, the cloud formations occurs usually around the dust particles itself. That is the significance. And the last but not the least, the next one is water vapor. Water vapor. What is the significance of water vapor? Anyone? Water vapor? Water vapor, all the major weather phenomena, variations occur because of this, no? Imagine there is no water vapor. Do you find tropical cyclones? No. Do you find thunderstorms? No. Do you find events like tornadoes? No. All the major weather phenomena or even rainfall is associated with water vapor. So, you will find that weather phenomena has a very close relationship with water vapor, humidity in air. So, these are the things. So, what does our atmosphere comprise of? Gases, dust particles and water vapor. All these things have a significant say to understand the spectacles of life. This is the composition of our Earth's atmosphere. Not just that, you can also go further about the atmosphere. So example, if you see the Earth's atmosphere, if this is the surface and this is the outer space, okay, this is the outer space, okay, and this is the surface. From the surface, a very tiny layer, the first layer is what we call it as the troposphere, okay, what we call it as the troposphere. You can see here, this is the troposphere layer. Now as the picture showing here, this is the actual thing, how in terms of size, in terms of mass. For example, see, exosphere is, there is no such kind of a boundary line between outer space and the Earth's atmosphere, okay. So there is slowly, the exosphere gradually merges with the outer space. If you see the composition of these layers, their composition is quite different. The majority of the mass which you call about dust particles, water vapor and all, they are all available in the troposphere itself. The first layer which is very near to us, everything occurs there only. The huge amount of Earth's marvels, be it around the weather phenomena, all such events occur within the tropopause. Remaining all our compositions are different. As you can see here, you can see the auroras, they are here. You can see here, there is another layer called mesosphere where you find meteors are burning. You are finding stratosphere where you find ozone. So if you see the layers, they are of multiple things. Now let us discuss about the first layer, the troposphere. Troposphere. So imagine if this is planet Earth, this is the equator, okay, this is the equator. You will find that the troposphere is for around maximum at least around 18 kilometers at the equator, whereas it will be only around 8 kilometers at the poles. You can see here. So it is bulging at the equator and very less at the poles. The reason is very simple. At the equator, you find more heat. Because of more heat, the water molecule, the air particles expand by heating. As air molecules expand by heating, they rise. As they rise, they reach greater heights. That's why it reaches around 18 kilometers. So it is the heat which is determining. So the air molecules reach here 18 kilometers because of the heat. There is not that much heat here. That's why it is 8 kilometers. So the air around us, the troposphere, where majority of the Earth's weather phenomena occurs, is 18 kilometers. So average we can say 13 kilometers, whereas it can vary from 8 to around 18 kilometers. Vary around 8 to 18 kilometers. I hope the audio and video is clear, all of you. Audio and video is clear. Right. Okay, it's good. Now, with this 18 to 18 kilometers height and all, one of the characteristic thing you need to observe is all weather phenomena occur here. Okay, the typical cumulonimbus clouds, all such kind of things occur here. And even the flights travel maybe until the lower part of the stratosphere, not just at the here, but also until the lower part of the stratosphere. You will find that the flights are being traveling lower part of the stratosphere. Majority they do travel in the stratosphere to prevent turbulence. You all have seen what is turbulence. While you go on road, while you going on say in auto, you will find that whenever there is kind of a speed breaker or any kind of a potholes, you will find the bumps and all, no, uneasiness. Imagine the same things occurring in a flight. Your heart has to be very strong, right? So when you are moving in the flight, you will find that the flight is mixing with the dust particles, and then you will find the dust particles. With the dust particles, as the flight moves there, mostly with the clouds formation, not the dust particles, with the thickness of the clouds and all. When there are more clouds with water vapor, movement of air and all, you will find there is more turbulence. That is the thing, the flight shakes. That shaking is what is causing the turbulence, which is what having a major impact in the flights, right. So, such kind of things occur more in the troposphere. To avoid this, when you have long duration flights and all, usually the aircrafts tend to travel beyond the troposphere, beyond this turbulence. So, that is beyond clouds. So, all weather phenomena occur here, that means clouds. So, beyond clouds going beyond the clouds is what we call it as the flight zone, where you can say that the flights travel frequently there, right. Okay. So, if you see in this picture, typically where did they show? They have shown the aeroplane beyond this cloud formation. You can see here cloud formation. Then one such indicator about the troposphere, you need to know the height here, what is the temperature here? Temperature here decreases at around, temperature here decreases. So, around the tropopause temperature decreases at the rate of 6.5 degrees Celsius for every 1 kilometer, which we call it as what? Normal lapse rate. So, the temperature decreases at around 6.5 degrees Celsius for every 1 kilometer. That is what you call it as normal lapse rate. Okay. So, these are the events about the troposphere. Remember, where is troposphere? What is its what does it comprise of? It comprises of all the major mass of the atmosphere. Majority of the mass of the atmosphere is very nearer to us. Far away it is very, very less. Then the second important layer in our atmosphere is the stratosphere. You can see here. You can see here, this is the second important layer. So, after around 13 kilometers as the average, until 50 kilometers, you have the stratosphere. What is the significance of stratosphere? You have the ozone layer. Stratosphere is the ozone layer. Its availability of ozone molecules is the reason why UV radiation is absorbed. Because of this UV radiation only, because of this ozone layer, because of this only, stratosphere is very, very important to us. Had there been no stratosphere, no ozone, you might be, Earth is impacted by the ultraviolet radiation. So, the UV radiation are protected by the stratosphere. And another such spectacle of the Earth's atmosphere, you will see that the next layer beyond 50 kilometers until 80 kilometers is the mesosphere, where you find meteors start burning here. By the way, why do you think that meteors start burning? What is the reason? Anyone? Why meteors start burning here? You can see clearly in this picture, right? Within the troposphere, you can see the clouds here. You can see cloud formation and the flights traveling. And then you see here the layers of the atmosphere, meteors are start burning here. Why? Anyone? The meteors actually burn here, it is because of the what? It is because of the, when the meteors are coming with rapid speeds into the Earth's atmosphere, in the upper parts of the atmosphere, that is in the layers of thermosphere and all, there is no enough friction, no friction. Whereas by the time they come towards the lower part, there is some kind of friction is developed. When the friction is developed, the meteors, they start burning. As they burn, it looks like a shooting star to us. Meteors are called as shooting stars because it looks like some star is burning, but actually that is falling down. When these meteors hit the Earth's surface, they are called as meteorites, but usually they start burning more in the mesosphere where there is enough friction. They do not develop that friction beyond this because the layers are very, very thin. You do not find much density, you do not find much kind of friction, there is not much of the dust particles and all, and because of this friction and all, they start burning, and most of the time you will find that many of the meteors, they start burning within the atmosphere. By the way, there was one event happened. Okay, imagine you woke up on one fine day, and then you have observed that what do you say, in a winter night you have observed, you have opened your window and you have seen that the whole world is completely of something like red fog. You will feel like there is a nuclear attack has happened, something like that. The whole earth has been vanished and all. This is the last day, aliens attack has occurred, all such kind of events, isn't it? No. So there was one event has occurred in the similar way, where in Australia it was observed of a red color fog. Similarly in Kerala and as well as in Sri Lanka, when you have collected some amount of water from the rainfall, the water is looking like a red color, red water, almost like blood. They call it as a blood rain. Why blood rain? Why red color fog there? Scientists were curious in the initial days. It's a real story, by the way. They were asking about why it has happened. Then they realized that the first thing which spreads fastly is, before the actual approval of the scientific community, rumors are the fastest zones of communications now. So the rumors have spread that alien attack, all such kind of nonsense. And then the scientific community has said that it could be because of an ancient, some kind of an old Soviet satellite, and those particles have interacted. That is the reason they have said. Later on, that was been disproved by another scientist, and they said that it is because of the bacterial composition in the air. Now you see, whatever the earth's composition is there, that has reacted with these things and that created this kind of red color. Some scientists say it is because of the because of the remnants of any kind of a satellite of Russia, and some people say that it is because of bacterial. Mostly which is acceptable as of now is the bacterial thing. That is the reality. So for all such understanding of the spectacles of this atmosphere and all, this is the reality. I hope you all have understood this. Hope you have got to these pictures about different spectacles. By the way, I would be giving you the content about the red rain, all such kind of things in my Telegram channel. I will giving you all such kind of spectacles. I will give you some videos out of the northern lights, the spectacles of northern lights. Okay, so do download the Telegram channel. There is a link is given in the description. You can straight away click it, or else you can scan the QR code, or else you can type as Venkatesh Geographical Voyage, where I will be giving you all such informations. Hope you all have loved this video. So if you have loved this video, do give us a like, share it to as many people, because sharing is caring, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you have any doubts, do put it in the comment section where I would be answering it, or else come back to the Telegram channel where I will be resolving all your doubts. Until next time, this is Venkatesh signing off. Thank you.